All right, so
So
you ready to kick it to high gear
loved
here?
it. Loved it.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm ready. Born
Nice.
ready.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
Oh, what's up?
Brought to you by the good people at Drink Wild Bill's, Grill Your Ass Off, Native Clothing, and...
Poddex.
Really? It's still?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The Mythical Beards?
And Mythical Beards.
It's Bacon is my podcast!
And also,
Keep your balls clean.
yeah, keep yourself refined.
Refined.
Refined is a fine cologne.
You know what? If you're fine already, in the middle of the day, maybe you need to refine.
I will say this, all right? So Refined is by Manscaped, and Manscaped keeps your balls clean.
Yeah.
With the Perfect Package 4.0. And they keep your package clean. You can shave your chest and everything. And you
chesticles.
could feel
Shave
better
your
about
testicles,
yourself.
Shave your chesticles.
Yes. But they also have the brand new in that package, right? In that perfect package, because like your testicles,
Yeah.
and your testicles don't have the only hair, right?
No.
What else has hair that you don't necessarily want? Ears in your nose.
Yeah.
And what do they have? The Weed Whacker
Yeah, whack those weeds.
2.0. And I will say this. I have the Weed Whacker 1.0. It is fantastic. They sent us the Weed Whacker 2.0. I tried it out and I'm like, how could this get any better? Because it's not that like yanking your nose hairs out.
Yeah.
Because that's fucking awful. Right?
Yeah. I do that just to know I'm alive.
Well, you're fucking crazy.
Some men just like to watch the world burn.
Exactly. But I said to myself, how could this get any better? It fucking does.
Yeah.
It just does. So if you go to manscaped.com, if you want to make yourself feel clean, if you want your partner to feel clean, if you have lady parts, you could still use the perfect package.
Yeah, not
You'll
the weed
smell
whacker.
like a dude.
Not
but-
the weed whacker though.
Yeah, don't use
It'll
the weed
take
whacker.
forever.
No. Use the lawnmower.
Yeah.
Use the promo code BACONPOD. You get 20% off. You get free shipping on everything you put in your cart.
Today, Andrew from Project 86 joins us, and man, that dude can talk.
Yeah, you know what?
And I like people who can talk.
Yeah, we definitely. This is okay. They have a new record out. It's called Omni Part 1.
Yeah.
This is Andrew Part 1.
Yes.
Because
yes, I'll tell you
when
what.
Omni Point 2 comes out, we will have an Andrew Part 2 because we didn't get to.
I think we got to ask
a quarter of
three
the things.
questions, and we talked for like 2 hours.
A quarter of the things we got to talk about.
Yeah.
So. The whole concept behind Project 86's new record is really awesome. It's a two disc album or a double album,
You know
if
what?
you will.
You know what? He talks about it.
Yeah, you know what? We should do that.
He talks about it.
Let's do it.
Let's go to him.
Now, he was born ready. We were ready to have him.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Schwab, lead singer of the band Project 86. Dude, thank you for joining us.
I'm applauding for you guys because you guys are amazing.
Thank you. We were kicked your band, and I immediately read up on you guys, and we booked the interview, and I listened to the record, and I'm like, man, this would be really cool if this was like an expanded universe. And then once I started doing research, literally the first interview I listened to, you were like, we're doing a part 2.
Right.
Where I'm writing a novel. We are
Yeah.
going to do a movie. And I'm like, did he read my mind? Back in February, I think. Dude, like the whole project for this particular record is so. I was blown away by it, and that's why I was immediately like, we need to book him.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
Like, when it comes to like the whole process, right? I know you do a Patreon and a podcast where you are going through the process. We're actually doing something similar, but
Cool.
just to start off here, do you go into a project like this knowing that this is going to be a concept record, or or do you have like an outline for a story that you're going to follow and you just kind of let the songs follow it, or did you just start writing and go, oh, all this is very connective, there's a lot of connective tissue here, let's just blow this out?
These are all really great questions. First of all, the idea of a concept record is so burned in people's minds as being a negative or being lame or a band's not best piece of music. And I have that challenge, actually, because, we've done a lot of records over the years. We've done a couple of these types of records that have a narrative, that have a story. And I can look back on those and see the mistakes that were made, that we sort of fell into that ditch of the trope of the concept record, right? Mm-hmm. So one thought that was in my mind was, if we're going to do this and people are going to call it a concept record, it better be really good. Like musically.
Right, yeah.
Musically, it has to be really good, because that's the most important thing.
Well, you say yourself
if the songs aren't
judgment.
there,
right?
Yeah, and again, it gets back to that polishing the turd thing.
Right.
It doesn't matter how neat the story is, or how great the visuals are, or like how much time you spent crafting character arcs, right? If the songs aren't there and people follow you because of music, the whole thing is going to seem lame.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was really important when we started this, when I started this kind of vision or whatever. It's like, okay, if I'm going to do this, this is such a challenge, because already fighting that uphill battle. But I love that challenge, because what if we can do our best record of music and have this whole immersive experience for people who are first and foremost enjoying the music and want more, just want more of that hook, want to know more of like, well, what are these lyrics actually talking about? Or,
or what
am I feeling right now? I want more of that. Right. So it's not for the casual listener. It's for the person who's already hooked, who's already, really into the music, really into the band, hopefully, and just wants to go further with it. And I've always been someone who prioritizes lyrics as a frontman. I always try to give people more to digest or chew on or whatever, give you something to think about or paint a picture, or just, I don't know. I just put a lot of effort into writing lyrics that people can come back to and get something new from, even after digesting the record over a longer period of time. So that's always been a part of the equation here for Project 86. And then I have a number of boxes that I've always wanted to check that for whatever reason I've never had the opportunity or never followed through with, right? I always wanted to write a novel that was based on a book, or a novel that's based on the music for an album or for a piece of music. And I always wanted to do animated type content for music videos. I've always been dabbling in various forms with the film world, never completely committed to doing a full-on project. I always wanted to do a double album. And beyond all that, I always wanted to have like an alternate reality game as well that would build upon all that and do all of these things together. So when we were, back to your original question, we were first starting out the process of building out the idea of this world. I had a picture in my mind, not of a story, but of visuals. And as I sort of explored the visual elements, which initially in my mind were just pieces of album art, right? I had a cover and other pieces of physical package, vinyl package, CD, whatever, that will go along with that. I asked myself, is there a story to this? And I thought that there was. And then I presented it to the guys I work with, you know, the extended, not just the band, but the extended production team, and just asked people I trust, you know, is this something that you think has legs? And the feedback I got consistently was, yes, like, this is really cool. You should do all of the above. People already know you as being a writer, and you should write a book that goes along with it. Shout out to Corey on that one, who's a big part of this whole deal. Corey Brandon, who's a buddy of mine. And so as the story sort of developed, the idea of doing a visual album or a full-blown film became a reality as I presented that idea to a bigger circle of people, i.e. our Patreon community. So we have a very vibrant Patreon community that extends beyond just the interaction between the fan and the artist or the making of a piece of content. It's actually very collaborative in the sense that if I have a demo, I throw it up on the Patreon and I get people's reactions. Mm-hmm. And those comments in whatever way form decision making. And I've done that with every step of this process, with all these pieces of media that we're developing, and these people who sort of have always supported this band from a distance are now a part of this thing. And that's why this Patreon community has extended beyond 2 years now going. Awesome. And I think it's going to live past this album cycle in terms of whatever comes next. So getting back again to the original question, which is really, you know, did you have music, or did you have a story first, or did you start with an outline? It really was kind of an outline. It was here's what I think needs to happen. Here's the types of songs that I think we need to make this happen. Here's sort of the ebb and flow emotionally and from an energy and pacing standpoint of how I think this thing will roll. And then we sort of wrote the music that would fit those pieces, right? So, you know, track 6 is going to be this thing. Well, I think we need this type of song. And track 1 is really going to be this type of thing visually and pace-wise. So this is the type of song we should write there. You know, and then it needs to pick up from there into more of a banger. And then so the album just came together in bits and pieces with chapters in a story that really just have an emotional sort of center that the guys the band, the extended production team, had a lot of people touch this thing and who have touched this thing and are continuing to work on this thing, just contributed to. And, you know, it's the biggest team I've ever worked on an album with. And it's really paid off because everybody has brought unique strengths and talents to the table. And the picture that's developed of this pretty grandiose project is really like a patchwork of everybody's strengths creatively, with me just sort of saying, this is the type of sound, this is the type of motion. And really what we're going for is just something really ominous for LP1. LP2 is more bangers, which we can talk about in a minute. But part 1 is an ominous, a little bit more drawn out pace across the whole album. I think the total running time is around 52 minutes, which is kind of long.
Interruption!
I was going to do the hold up. Hey. But that was better.
Nice.
There's no time like today to take care of your hygiene.
Indeed.
And one of those things that can help you, if you're a man or a woman even, Manscaped. Manscaped can help you with their lawnmower 4.0.
Yeah.
Their lawnmower 4.0 has skin-safe technology. It's a ceramic blade. It's waterproof. It's got a nice little LED light, so this way you can see underneath all those crevices.
Shave your privates in the shower in the dark. Don't actually do that.
Don't do that.
But you could.
Yeah, you could with Manscaped.
Because you have a light.
Indeed. And for guys, listen, the perfect package 4.0 is like where it's at for you guys. Because it comes with not only the lawnmower, not only the weed whacker for your ear and nose holes.
Well, we got one. So bring it up real quick. What you also get, so yes, for one, you get the lawnmower 4.0, which is ceramic blades. It's not going to cut you. It's got a guard so you can make sure that you got a trim in some spots, you got to the skin in other spots. You make sure that beanbag's shiny. We also have some
Package that beanbag in
underwear.
The underwear.
Yeah.
It's got the little ball pouch.
It does have the ball pouch.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great.
Separate. It's technology.
This right here
I like
is
this.
for when you are shaving your balls.
Yeah.
It's little placemats, so this
It's
way...
it's like a newspaper.
Yeah, but then you just you shave them, you crumple it up, you throw it away. No mess, no huss, no fuss.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
is
also
that
got
how it goes?
it's got some fun, funny articles in it.
It
as
does.
well,
It
so
does. It does when you read
I
it.
recommend you definitely read it, but not while you're shaving your nuts.
No. There's the ball deodorant.
Yes, I use it every day. Crop preserver.
And the crop reviver.
I don't use it every day, but I have used it plenty
It is
of times.
pretty fantastic. You need that midday spritz.
Yep.
Just psst, psst, go for it. Freshens you up right away.
Who doesn't love a little spritz on the beanbag?
Exactly. And where do I keep it all? Well, right here. The shed, baby.
You know what? The shed is a pouch for the things to clean your pouch.
Exactly.
Right? Right?
I use it personally for my toiletries when I travel.
You do. I've seen it.
I've got multiple. I've got a few of them.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, go ahead, manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD.
You get 20% off this entire order plus free shipping. Not only can you get the Perfect Package 4.0, but you can sign up for their program where they will send you new stuff automatically.
New blades.
Every month, every 2 months, every 3 months. You decide what you need. If you need new blades every 3 months, they'll send you new blades every 3
Yes.
months. If you want to check out maybe the crop mops,
I can't talk about the crop mops enough.
they're my favorite thing.
Yes.
Get those every month.
When you
Anyway,
come
just
and you
get
hang
them.
out with us and we see you and stuff like that, we always have crop mops on our person. So
Yeah, it's
make
like
sure
a
you
business
ask us.
card, but for Manscaped and not us.
Yes. So go ahead,
Yeah.
manscaped.com, promo code BACONPOD, 20% off, free shipping. Call it a day. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
For
it's Act
Project
One.
86.
It's the
Well,
build.
yeah, you got
Yeah.
you got to
It's the build,
figure
you
like
know,
the
it's
Act
Act
1. If you look at a show like for argument's sake, like Daredevil on Netflix, like season 1, it wasn't until about episode 6 or 7 that things started to kind of pick up.
Right. You had
Right.
So you already have this is part 1. Part 2's coming out later, but like you're building the foundation. You're introducing this world, these characters and stuff like that. So to throw banger after banger after banger after banger wouldn't make sense in a story making or storytelling.
Yeah, you're hitting. You got to hit
kinda-
plot points. and
Yeah, kind of
emotional
thing.
directions.
This whole process and this whole like concept is like it's fucking blowing my mind because like I always wanted to do like a concept record and stuff, and like you said, there's always negative connotation and stuff like that. But
Well, you
I
have
always admire that and the fact that you're creating a world and stuff like that. So that's just man, that's so cool to me.
I
wanted to
appreciate
ask
that,
you-
man. It's a lot more work, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
I wanted to
sure.
ask you as a songwriter, because just you describing kind of the process there of having the outline. Did you find that at first to be kind of like constricting as a songwriter that you had to like get over, or was it more freeing because you had a direction or a point to hit?
It could be constricting, and I think in the past when we've attempted to do this on other records, I mean, we did execute it,
Yeah.
but there were elements that I would have done differently.
Okay.
What I found is that in giving everybody a clear direction on what needed to be accomplished sonically from song to song, and really clear, like, just everything from tempo to beyond emotion, like just the pace of the song, the feel of the song. Here's some examples of obscure artists that have done something that I'm thinking, so
Right.
really specific in what we were trying to do here for LP1. I found that at least for me, translated into what we ended up with being exactly that and even better.
Nice.
So it did work. It did work. Now,
well, the songs sound great.
We talked to the guys that we worked with, and maybe they would have a different take on that. But where we ended up was exactly what I imagined, and even better.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I had a question about the artwork too, because you brought that up, and you had brought up how you said you always wanted to do some kind of an animated video and things of that nature, and I really like. You had all the videos so far: Virtual Signal, Zero is Greater Than One, and Metatropolis. All three of them. I know they have the same producer, and they have this really cool like. I wrote down like what I was getting out of it. It was like animation / live action cyberpunk meets gritty 90s movie / Ghost in the Shell-ish design elements that I thought were really cool going across the whole board. Like, so what was it like finding the director producer to work with? Like, how did you pitch that? Was what we're seeing, how close to your plan is what we're seeing, and how much
similar
it was like working with someone?
Similar with the music, it was a picture that I had that I could clearly articulate that ended up being executed beyond my expectations. And Spencer Olson is he's a visual effects master, and he is very unique with what he does. There are not a lot of guys that do what he does. He actually started in Lego stop motion. That's kind of his wheelhouse. So he's familiar with the minutia of doing some of this type of content, because it's a lot of work. It's a ton of work.
Oh yeah,
it's way different than just shooting a band playing in a room and cutting together some B-roll with a girl walking through a house scared. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just a different animal.
The first video I watched was Virtual Signal, because it was what was on the website.
Right.
And as soon as it started, I was like, I immediately had that like, oh, this is cool. You went with like an animation style, and then you see the guy on the rooftop, and I'm like, oh no, that's live action. And then you're in there singing and everything, and I'm like, oh no, shit, this isn't stock stuff. This is like, okay, this is a plan. This is executed really, really well. And then going in and seeing the other videos, it was like, oh, this all ties together. It's the same visual style, or there's different elements with each video, but it's cohesive. It all works together, and you can tell that it's all a thing. Anybody that's listening to this, do yourself a favor and go watch these videos, because they're really, really well done, and they're really, really cool.
Thank you. Guys.
So that was like the first thing that struck me was like, oh shit, this is a lot went into this video. And
And
oh shit, a lot went into all these. Yeah.
It's three of us working on this thing, and I write all the treatments and work very closely in directing these with Spencer, and Joel brings a lot to the table as a producer, and we work really hard, the three of us, on getting all of there's a ton of imagery, and it's multimedia, as you said. It's hybrid live action animation type look. We hope unique. We haven't seen a ton of stuff out there that looks like this. So that was the goal, was to come up with something that looked unique, that was still in the world, because there's a color scheme to this world. And with each of these music videos, they're supposed to be almost trailers for the extended film. They're pieces of the film, but you don't know the whole story yet. So these will be connected by narration and other pieces of visuals that will tie this all together into a story. It's a pretty difficult, again, challenge, but so far we've met that challenge along the way, and I'm really happy with how these pieces of the puzzle are coming out. To be honest, like, all of this was birthed from how sick I am of seeing music videos from bands. They're all the same over the years, and the music video format has been around for decades now, and it really hasn't been reinvented that much. And so as an artist, having done a lot of those more cliche types of music videos, And when we're finished with them, going, man, I wish we just had the budget, or just, we're able to work with someone who had a little bit bigger vision or different vision than what you see from every music video. Like, finally, I'm proud of some content that we're working on here. And that's not to say that I've hated every music video that we've done, but I've always wanted to do something that doesn't feature the band playing in a forest. Like, again,
Right.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to be in it, I would rather be like some sort of character than just a dude singing, lip syncing.
I mean, there wasn't
whatever.
an old warehouse that was available. Come on.
Well, they were all booked.
Well, I think that's a testament to, I mean, we've lived through a bunch of generations of making music and being in a band, and the label process becoming less prevalent, and people not giving money and stuff like that, and becoming independent, and independent is like almost the way people want it now and stuff. I think that as things got more accessible, you're able to get a nice looking camera for several $100 bucks. Yeah, you're able to get a whole recording rig for $200, and you can make a record with Logic and an interface and a bedroom, like Billie Eilish kind of thing.
You can learn how to video.
You can do all those
edit
things
for not getting a student loan.
So when you're right, exactly. So
Right.
you're able to like do all that stuff. So you put your time into, okay, well, how do I do it? Cool, I'm able to do it. The creative process kind of falls more to the wayside because you're able to do what you're looking to do, but you've only got time to do what you see as a music video.
We're also in an era of bang it out, bang it out, bang it out, bang it out. So.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that's kind of what has, obviously, like for someone like me, it's been great that I've been able to like figure this stuff out. But an ailment as an overall to the industry and the creative process and stuff like that. I think because you're not getting content like yours,
Right.
kind of thing. So double-edged sword there.
It is, and the gist of what you're saying is, we have so much more technology afforded to us these days that make, pretty much. This is what's been blowing my mind. I've always been the guy that for music videos or for anything really, I always have this like really ambitious idea that's a really cool idea that we just can't execute. And I was like, just at $500,000, we could do this thing so like nobody's done this, and it's so rad.
I know what that feels like.
Yes.
I know what that feels like.
Yeah, and I just never have had that budget. One record, when we were on Atlantic for a couple of records, there was one record that we made our third album that we had a really big budget for it. And that was the only time where it was like, money's not an object. Every other thing that I've ever done, money is an object. And having a big idea usually is impossible to do in a cool way. Because what ends up happening, and this is sonically as well, you have this really killer idea, and it's ambitious and it's big and it requires a lot of extra effort and production or whatever. And you end up doing an idea that's a version of that's 5 notches lower, and then it just falls flat, right? And you learn over time that you need to roll with simple ideas that are easy to execute in a convincing way. Whether, again, that's sonically, production-wise, or visually, or whatever. This is the first time, and I've been playing music for 27 years, that I've yet to throw out an idea to Spencer and Joel. I call our team the triumvirate because I've just been blown away about what we've been able to come up with here in these videos. I have not yet thrown out an idea that's been shot down because it's too out there and too difficult to execute. Now, you'll have to watch the next music video. We're shooting two new music videos tomorrow, as of this recording, tomorrow and the following day.
Nice. Quick reminder that this show is brought to you by our brand new sponsor, Mythical Beards. Check them out, mythicalbeards.com. You can get stickers. You can get hoodies, you can get all that kind of stuff. But most importantly, you can get shit for your face.
Keep your beard fresh, keep it clean, keep it groomed. If it's good enough for Mick Foley, God damn it, it's good enough for us.
I'm wearing the Kraken right now.
I am actually wearing the Dracula.
Nice.
And that's why I smell like an old-time barbershop.
If you go to mythicalbeards.com and use the promo code
BACON15,
you get 15% off your entire order. The show is also brought to you by our good friends at GrillYourAssOff.com, where you can also get 15% off of your order of all spices, grilling rubs.
they're delicious freaking sauces.
Yes, delicious sauces, all that kind of stuff. Every season is grilling season if you like to cook.
Yes.
So definitely check it out. GrillYourAssOff.com. Use the promo code
BACON because it'll keep your grilling season all year fucking long.
15% off with the promo code. 10% off at drinkwildbills.com, where you can get all kinds of great sodas, which we've seen lots of mixers for. So keep sending them in. Hashtag drinkwildbills. Hashtag what's your bacon. Send us your beverage options.
Of choice.
And also poddex.com. You can see them in another part of the show.
Yes, indeed.
But both of those, 10% off, use the promo code BACON. So
Yes.
check it out. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you got. Use them. Find them. If you can't remember what we just said, go to baconismypodcast.com. Everything's there. Check it out. Thanks for watching.
And we'll be working on editing those for a month after that. And that's the thing. The editing takes forever on this.
It's
Because-
that's the work.
Well, looking
That's
at the
the real
videos you're putting out too, like that's intensive. Like there's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's super intensive. And we're not going to have a finished film until the end of the year. So we're releasing all of this content in stages, which I think will be fun for people. They
Yeah.
won't get the book and the film till the end of the year. So they won't really know what's actually happening with all of this until way further down the line, which I think will keep it fresh along the way, or at least enable people to come back to it along the way. And
if
say,
you think
"Oh,
about things,
okay,
yeah, if you think about things, and I've heard you talk about it in the past with and just the music industry as a whole, it's like single. Well, you're giving them a record, and then you're giving them another record, and then you're giving them a novel, and then a movie, and so it's like it takes a little bit more to digest. But again, you're catering to the people that want a story to jump into, to bite into, to digest, to really like get into. I mean, yeah, would it be great to read all the Harry Potter books at once? Sure, but
You're gonna miss things.
You're gonna miss things, right? So you're giving them some time to get into it. I really like it. I think it's awesome. But what I did want to ask was, because we've started a Twitch, and what we're doing on the Twitch is we wrote songs back in 2015, probably like 15 to 20 songs, and then we're both in two different bands. So our respective bands, we kind of went off, did things, all that kind of stuff. We eventually came back because we were asked to write a song for a movie and stuff. And now we're finally getting back to putting those songs together, and we're bringing people on into the creative process. This is what it's like to work with a producer. You have these demo songs, you play them from square one, and then you talk with the producer, and we get their live reactions and how he talks to us and what he thinks needs to be changed and all that kind of stuff. And we're literally on the streams editing songs, taking parts, moving them around, retracking, all that stuff. So we're, the sausage, showing people how the sausage is made. That's what I've been told. Like, oh, wow, you're really doing that. What, for us, it was just kind of like one of those things where we were going to do it anyway, so might as well throw a camera on. But what made you go, all right, well, I want to document the process too, and I want to throw demos up and get people's comments and things like that. What was that moment for you that wanted to get your fans or the people watching involved in the process?
We have a really loyal inner circle of 300 to 500, I'd say, ultra diehards that basically support everything that we do. And the thought process as we've gone further down the line is to include those people in ever increasing measure. And I had sort of dabbled with Patreon for a couple of years prior to that in doing another podcast, and realized that this is a little bit of an untapped, or at least unperfected medium for bands. You know, there are a lot of bands out there that have Patreons, but
Sure. Right.
what I've seen is that a lot of artists haven't maximized or optimized what Patreon could be, which is just basically a new skin on the fan club idea, except it's more geared around content, digital content, rather than merchandise or, you know, pre-buying tickets to shows and things like that. So what do people really enjoy now? Well, they want that daily connection to the content creators that they love. And my thought was, well, how can I create a situation here where these people feel like they're a part of things in a way that's unique? And I didn't really have every detail of what that would look like dialed in at the beginning. I've kind of just figured it out as I've gone and refined, and it just offered more and it evolved things as gone. But now, you know, we've got 4 tiers to this thing, and the highest level of subscribers, they're paying quite a bit per month. It's $100 a month. And so these are established working adults, not like teenagers, you know, or college kids, but who are donating a significant amount of money to this thing. But I'm doing everything from monthly Zoom calls with these individuals. They get their own song on that tier that nobody else gets. Oh man, there's just, as far as the amount of time that I devote to it, the amount of commitment I give to it, and how deeply I communicate value to the inner circle of people. I just don't know too many artists that have been willing to go as far as I've gone.
Sure.
So I think that's why it's special for people.
Sure.
Because I wake up every day going, these are the people that are like stirring the drink. You know, these are the people that are the most important, involved, trusting, believing, faithful, whatever. How can I make them stoked every day? And how can I apply my own creative process to the Patreon as an end in and of itself? So it's always thinking about, what can I do that's different for these people to make them feel, you know, great about being a part of this thing. But really, honestly, the element that's developed organically is the thing that I mentioned a little earlier in this episode, and that's making people not just feel collaborative, but actually allowing them to be collaborative.
Right.
So we have a team of dudes who are a part of this community who have created our very own alternate reality game that goes along with Omni, and who've put a lot of time into it. Now I've guided the ship. I've been like an art director for it, but I haven't put a lot of effort into actually doing the stuff. The fans, these 8 or so guys, have, you know, really taken the bull by the horns and developed this thing based around what I've given them, which is a read through of the first draft of the book, and, you know, demos before months and months and months before people hear the music. So like, they know what I'm trying to communicate to the world, and they're interpreting it, and they're saying, how can we help you build this world? You know, we're computer nerds, you know, we're coders, we're hackers, we're we're graphic designers, we work in these realms, and we want to help you flesh out this world, because we think that you have something worthwhile to say here with all this stuff. And there's a lot more to it than that, but giving people an opportunity to collaborate with an artist that they hold in high regard, and be a genuine part of how things come together, especially when you're tapping into messaging that they relate to. I think what I've discovered is you can't really put a price tag on it. especially with if they're people that have jobs and have income and are willing to treat this as I make a joke all the time on the podcast. I do 2 podcasts a week for this thing, and I literally say we are a cult. We are a cult. I am the cult leader, and you guys are the minions or whatever. and that's the way this thing works, and I don't know of a better way to describe it.
Yeah.
Hey, that's that goes back to the beginnings of rock and roll.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a fan driven medium.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It always has been. It always should be. So that's awesome that you're able to do that. It's awesome that you have that fan base. We tell people all the time, like, if it's not the people that you are reaching are everything. You know what I mean? There is
they're everything.
Yeah. Every great idea still needs to be heard by someone.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not, okay, it's a great idea that no one's heard. It needs to. You need the people to be there. So that's awesome that you've been able to cultivate that.
And I literally would not have been able to do so much of this without these people. And I'm going to give you a couple quick examples. So you asked a little earlier on, how did you find your team? How did you find your director, for these videos? I didn't know how I was going to pull off any of this stuff. And I never really do. I never know what I'm doing until I sit down and just do it and figure it out. And that goes for just starting a band. I didn't know how to start a band. I didn't know. I just knew that it was what I had to do and figured it out. And if I didn't know how to do it, because I'm not shredding on guitar, then I find the guy who can.
Right.
And it's all about just finding the right people. So I'm sitting there, I'm on the podcast, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't know how I'm going to pull this off. I don't know how we're going to find the money. I don't know how, because the type of stuff I want to do is really expensive. I don't know how we're going to do any of this, but I'm going to throw this out to you guys, and maybe one person in there knows someone who knows someone, or maybe you're someone who can help. And sure enough, one dude hits me up and is like, yo, I work for a big media company. This is my job. I work on big shows, basically. And I went to film school. My dad owns a film school, and I know all these people, and I think I can help you. So he steps up to the plate, becomes an executive producer, and then knows a guy who knows a guy who ends up being Spencer Olson, who is the one who's really doing the heavy lifting here on all this content.
Right.
And he ends up being the perfect guy and is willing to do this stuff for pennies on the dollar. It's just perfect. It's perfect.
That's
it's
awesome.
A perfect team. The three of us work so well together. And we even joke. It's more than a joke. It's like, okay, we're going to create something that we're really proud of, and hopefully other people will be as well. We're really stoked on it. And then we're going to start. I don't want to say this because it'll jinx it, but we want to do more of this. Let's just put it that way. We want to do more of this, whatever that looks like. So that conversation has happened. And that's just one example. Another example, there's been so many. I mentioned the alternate reality game. This is an example of how cool this audience is. So I mentioned, doing exclusive music for just the top tier of people who are a part of our Patreon. And it's a very small number. So we wrote all this music, and we also did these we call them NFT songs, where basically the first 5 people that slap down the money, are going to get their own song. So for Omni, with this whole album cycle thus far, we have recorded for release 28 songs, which is a lot.
Jesus. All right.
It's a lot. And so one of the songs the song that we recorded that's for those upper tier people ended up being the best song of all 28 songs.
Nice.
And we just dropped it for them. We just handed it to them a week ago.
Yeah.
And I'm showing it to all the dudes and everybody who's kind of our extended circle. And I'm like, check out this song. And everyone's just like, holy balls, dude, that is so good. He's like, as good as this record is turning out to be, this is the best song. I'm like, I know. I'm like, and I'm like, and they're like, in only people are going to hear this? And I'm like, I guess I don't know what to do because I'm not.
You put it out to those 20 people and you go, hey guys, I really love this song and I would love more people to hear it. Are you guys okay with that?
Well, that's where I'm going. So
yeah,
we came back. I talked to my circle of people and I'm like, what do you think? What do you think? Are you feeling this song the way I'm feeling the song? And they're like, yeah, dude, this is really good. This is like an undeniable track. And I'm like, this song is going to make the second part of this double record better than the first part. And people really like the first part. It's been very well received, both by the fan base, by the critics, and the metal community, which has been fantastic, by the way. It's so cool to see people react so strongly to a piece of music you write because, we put out enough records. There's been a couple duds in there, the ones that haven't been as well received. And so to put out something that people are generally really stoked on, like that's the currency we operate in as
I'll say that I'll say that not only are they all very good, but the Christmas album is a favorite, and your Mr. Grinch is going on my Christmas list.
Oh, wow.
Well,
that's cool.
What's fun about it is I've definitely heard that before.
Right.
Like it's been played, back when New York had a rock station.
Right.
I heard that. Like I heard that there. So yeah, I was
that's going on my permanent Christmas playlist.
That's crazy. Yeah, I love that song, man. I love the way that came out. I think we're going to remix it this year, actually.
Oh, yeah. My
family
is
newer version.
Nice. So we've really talked about the record making process and all that kind of stuff. I have a question for you because I've done my research and stuff, and I know that you're from the Northeast area originally.
Yeah, near Erie, Pennsylvania.
And you tour. You're well traveled, but you're Team Sheetz, huh?
Oh yeah, Team Sheetz. You're saying versus Wawa?
Yeah,
I'm Team Sheetz, man.
That's a hot take here, by the way.
I
like both.
I mean, he doesn't care,
but
but for me, it's.
I grew up with the Sheetz in my hometown, man, and so there's some roots there.
Right.
And I just think that their offerings are a little bit superior to Wawa. You're going to tell me you have a different opinion, huh?
Well, I'm Team Wawa. I'm Team Wawa all the way. I just finished my. So we went for a job out in Maryland, and on the way back, I was like, I need to hit a Wawa because there's none in New York.
Right.
There's no Sheetz, no Wawa in New York because we don't get nice things.
No, we have 7-Elevens everywhere.
Yeah, we have 7-Elevens.
That doesn't count.
And you can throw a stone and hit like a good pizza place. Which is okay.
That's great.
All right, fine. That's the trade-off. But we don't have a Wawa. We don't have a Sheetz. But I've had Sheetz coffee. It doesn't do it for me. It tastes burnt. It's not as tended to. Wawa is brewed every 20 minutes. They pull. Well, that's what they say. But they pull it off every 20 minutes and brew you a new thing. So that for me it captures my heart. But their sandwiches are just chef's kiss. What is it at Wawa or at Sheetz rather that's getting your gears going?
I have an affinity for Wawa. I will tell you that like my heart jumps if I see a sign for Wawa on where people travel. Yeah, right.
I'm not saying I hate
it's not
Sheetz.
It's not that I'm anti Wawa. I just think there's that sentimental attachment to Sheetz. When I see the colors, when I see the sign, something happens inside me that I cannot put a finger on. It's deep. I just love all of their food offerings. I just think that they have a really great menu, and every time I go there, there's something new I want to try. Whether it's like a pretzel bun or whatever. Now, granted, I don't eat most of this now, but I'm talking historically here. Now, if I were to go there, it's probably
when we're
just
eating
like
gas
French
station
fries.
food. When we're eating gas station food on tour, a Wawa or a Sheetz is a welcome.
Right.
Oh yeah, and people who aren't familiar with the culture that we're describing, like you can't do it justice with words.
No.
Like you tell people that it's a gas station that has made to order food, and they're like, okay, what's cool about why is that good? I don't know how to describe it. Man. it's magical. It's just like,
yes,
it's incredible.
You don't have to microwave it before you consume it.
Right.
Yeah, and there's something just unique and cool about the whole thing. I just realized that I didn't finish my last story. I have to finish this because I don't want anyone who hears this to get disappointed that I didn't finish it. So you basically told the end of that story. We recorded a song that ended up being a really good song, and we dropped it for the inner circle of those higher level subscribers. And then I went back to them and basically Indian gave it and was like, "Hey guys, we're gonna give you a different song." And they were all cool with it. I mean, I upped the ante. I said, like, we're going to do this, this, and this for you guys. So you don't feel like we're, going back on what I promised. This is the reason why we're doing this, because we feel like this song is undeniable. We need to put it on the record so everybody can hear it.
But you all had it first. So.
Yeah. And you get it for like 4 months before everybody else.
Right.
So there's something for that. Yeah. And you'll get another song. We will give you another song. So, but I wanted to say that the reason why I brought that up is because everybody trusts us and me to that degree. And that's really cool. So that was all I wanted to say to wrap up that story.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Around it. So I digress.
No.
Awesome.
Totally cool. Totally cool.
Well, we have to wrap up this story and put a bow around it. Unfortunately, we didn't even get into some things about whether you're into cooking or how in the world you got into calligraphy and all these different things that I wanted to get into and ask. We're gonna have,
which means we have to do it again.
That's what I was saying. We got to do it again.
We're all about it.
Have you come
doors
back.
Always open.
Yeah, doors always open here. So, but before we go, I want to give you one more time to please let everybody that's listening know where they can find everything Project 86, all the music. Let them know where they can go and find everything you.
If you've never heard the band before and you want to check out just an entry point, the first song, again, I want you to listen to the song Metatropolis. On your favorite streaming platform, just type in Metatropolis or type in Project 86 and you'll see the song. I think that's a really good entry point to this record, and it's quite a bit heavier than what we've done in the past, and I'm really happy with that song and Omni Part 1 in general. If you want to check out the music video content, again, all of this can be accessed through project86.com. But we really, really would love you guys to check out the 3 music videos that we just dropped at Project 86 Video on YouTube, or just go to project86.com. Yeah, man, if you're into metal, you're into heavy music, and when I say metal, we're really all about aggression. So we try to do stuff that has an angry bent to it, and it's fun, man. Really stoked on the music that we've been creating, and this is our most prolific chapter of this band, so we really would encourage you guys to be a part of that. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, please visit us on Patreon. It's just patreon.com/P8625, or you can access that from project86.com, where you can also pre-order this double album on vinyl, cassette, CD, and so much more. That's my commercial, man.
Nice. Love it.
I'm like really stoked to see like the novel and the movie part 2.
Yeah, I'm
because
very excited
to see like the records are really cool, and I'm gonna get to listen to those, and you listen to those in a day and whatever. But like a continued world, that's so badass to me.
Yeah,
like
really
that's
is.
awesome. I'm stoked to see it.
Yeah, man, and we didn't really even talk about this, but the whole story is about mankind, civilization, reaching the point about 20 years from now where we develop the technology to actually live forever through transhumanism, basically, the whole idea of man and machine merging, or AI and such.
Yeah.
So it's an exploration of all that and a look at what would happen if and when we reach that point. So
yeah,
it's a dark take on it for sure.
Nice.
I love it.
Me too.
I love it.
Well, one more time, I will ask you. I asked you before. I'm
Appreciate
gonna ask
it,
you
guys.
again after having another after speaking to us for an hour or so. Has your answer changed? What is your bacon, sir?
Oh, and I said Nintendo Switch, man. That's a pretty solid answer, and that was the first thing that popped in my mind. But
that is a pretty great answer.
And we didn't even get to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't. We really do need to do. We have an excuse to do this again in a few months.
Yes, we
which
definitely
is,
have an excuse to do
the
this.
part 2 of our album dropping. So we'll have to back burner that discussion and a bunch of other things that we didn't even touch on. So there's the plug.
We will. 100%. All right. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us. We really do appreciate your time. This has been awesome. Doors always open. And everybody that is listening, please check out Project 86. We're going to have links to everything in the description below. And remember to ask yourselves every single day, what is that thing that makes your life a little bit better? What is it that brings a little more joy into what would be a joyous day without it?
What makes everything more gooder?
More gooder. Andrew, what's the question they should ask themselves?
What's your bacon?
Yeah, he remembered.
Delivered perfectly. See? What we tell you?
He does a good job.
He was.
He knows. He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
Speaking
was
of
fun.
people,
That was fun.
No,
That was inspiring and
We're,
cool and fun.
Yeah, and like for me, it's like, oh man, we should try harder on the creative process.
Yeah,
But
I'm inspired for the creative process. I'm inspired for Patreon. I'm inspired.
Yeah,
for
right.
those-
Like
all
all
those
sorts
things.
of things. It's like,
All those
oh man,
things.
we should, do this and this.
Yeah, for sure.
Do things. Jimmy, speaking of your creative process, where can people find out about you and your creative process?
My creative process is either at baconismypodcast.com, where I am one half of this creative process, where you can find all of our stuff, plus our Twitch stream on Thursdays, where we're showing our creative process. Right? We're unzipping the pantalones and showing our creative process for all of you to look at.
Letting it all fall on your face.
Yep.
After we unzip it, it just falls on your face.
We're just flopping it right onto your face place. So yeah, check that out. My band Craving Strange is at cravingstrange.net, where you can find my other creative process, which is over there. All of our stuff can be found there. All of our links to everything. We got new music is in the works, so we'll see what kind of happens with that. Jimmy G's Shoes on all the socials. If you want to get a hold of me personally, you want to see pictures of my feet in different places, shoes on, don't be weirdos. Or just get in touch with me and say hi and stuff, and tell me what you like about this show or my band, or tell me what you don't like, and I'll argue with you, because I do enjoy a good argue.
Yeah.
How about you, buddy?
Me personally, I am at Me and My Own Self, Mike, on all the streaming platforms. No, not streaming platforms. The social media
social
platforms.
medias. But you are on streaming platforms.
I am on streaming platforms. My band, Something Heavy, has a brand new single out. It's called Separate Ways. It's also not a Journey cover. It just came out last Friday.
Yeah.
And I do really want to thank everybody who's reached out and given such an awesome response to it. It was one of those songs for me that just came together super quickly. And I had a feeling about it, and I reached out to a few people, and I was just kind of like, okay, I need to put this out now.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool song.
And so, yeah, thank you to everybody who's done it. So at Something Heavy Music on most of the streaming, the social media platforms.
Yeah.
I just figured out Twitter is Something Heavy 1.
What?
Because I don't really use Twitter for that, so it's Something Heavy 1.
Something Heavy 1.
But I don't use it anyway, so don't reach out there.
Don't go there.
And until the next time we speak, check those things out. Check out his things. Check out Project 86. And always remember to ask yourself one super important question.
What's your bacon?
And
What piece?
that's not a question.
I know, it's just a statement of fact.